government functionaries present here, industry leaders, members from the academia and various think tanks, representatives from the media, ladies and gentlemen, a very good afternoon and Jai Hind to everybody. I shall share my thoughts on the self-reliance and technology transformation in the Indian Army. And before I spell out the various transformation initiatives, some of which you just saw in the AV, let me briefly touch upon the emerging threats and challenges that we face in the security canvas. The geopolitical landscape today is characterized by unprecedented changes taking place at a fast speed and scale. The centrality of national interest and the growing salience of national security in the international system is distinctly visible. Today, nations have shown willingness to resort to the use of hard power to secure their interests. A situation of return to conflict to achieve political and military objectives is a clear possibility. While conventional war has undergone rapid technological progression, disruptive technologies are transforming the character of modern wars and blunting the conventional combat ratios, which was the measure of military's strength and superiority in the past. Warfare has also transcended into new domains such as cyber, electromagnetic spectrum, information, and space. Today, emerging technologies are no longer superpower-centric. Non-state actors are increasingly gaining access to modern technologies of military use and employing it for a leverage asymmetric at that in conflict. The fallout is an increased propensity in risk-taking behavior and low threshold for initiation of armed conflicts. Amidst all of above, our legacy challenges of unsettled borders continue. Newer threats in the conflict spectrum have added to the complexity. Grey zone actions and aggressions by our adversaries is manifesting across multiple domains, including the military, that is, on the land, air, and the maritime space. Proxy war is one such manifestation of this threat that we have been combating for years now. Consequent to all these developments, the battle space is become more complex, contested, and lethal, and shall remain so in the future. Amidst this complicated canvas that I just described, our nation continues to rise. As a nation, we have envisioned and taken up the resolve to emerge as a developed nation when we celebrate our centenary milestone. The aspirations of a rising India shall span across expanding strategic horizons. The foremost implication for us, therefore, is to ensure that the nation's security is not impacted in any way so that its progress continues unabated. Therefore, to secure our national interests, we need to possess commensurate capabilities, which requires a continuous progression and focused approach from where we are today. In keeping with all that I have just said, the Indian Army's vision that we have articulated for ourselves is to transform into a modern, agile, adaptive, technology-enabled, future-ready force capable to deter and win wars in a multi-domain operational environment across the full spectrum of conflict to protect our national interests in synergy with the other services. So how do we go about preparing ourselves to be future-ready? The impact of external dependency for critical components, supply chain disruptions, and weaponization of denial regimes came to the fore, and we saw it during the pandemic as also from the lessons of the ongoing Russia-Ukraine conflict. Talking of critical and advanced technologies and their military application, we need to recognize that even if we were to import some warfighting systems, no country will share the latest technology with us. Being import dependent for critical technologies, hence, entails the risk of remaining one technological cycle behind in niche areas. For our nation to pursue its aspirations, the need to be self-reliant, both in acquiring new weapon platforms and equipment, as also sustenance of existing ones by meeting ammunition, spare and maintenance demands, and achieving self-sufficiency in critical technologies through indigenous R&D is hence an imperative. Sometimes we tend to focus on acquisition of new equipment, but just as I was describing to somebody as we walked in, I feel it is the entire, whatever wherewithal you require to fight, that is what we need to be able to produce indigenously, which includes the ammunition and the rest of it. Indian industries today are the vanguards of innovation and technological progression. Core technologies such as artificial intelligence, machine learning, quantum, augmented and virtual reality, cyber, biotechnology, energy and space are available in the private commercial domain. It is essential to harness these technologies and catalyze their conversions for defense needs. The country also has a vibrant, capable and productive technology ecosystem comprising institutions of academic excellence and repute, startups, innovation centers, information technology companies, and manufacturing hubs. Our technological prowess has been a driver of global technological pursuits. These factors lend feasibility for the defense sector to identify, absorb, and adopt technologies accruing through indigenous competencies and capabilities. The government has taken many initiatives to promote an effective defense industry ecosystem in the country. The enabling actions include simplification of industrial licensing, deregulation, inclusive participation of the private sector, foreign investment liberalization, incentivization for transfer of technology, promulgation of positive indigenization lists, a dedicated R&D budget for domestic capital procurement, corporatization of the ordnance factories, and establishment of defense corridors. Provisions have also been made towards creating capacities for developing critical technologies through foreign investments and partners, through joint ventures, co-production and co-development route, having a joint IPR model and transfer of technology procedures. In all of this, the services have been a facilitator for policy execution of the Atmanirbharta vision by providing a viable market for indigenous defense manufacturers. We have been proactively reaching out to the industry with problem statements, solutions to which we seek from them. The process of communicating our future defense requirements guides the industry in planning and initiating technology development, partnerships, and production arrangements. A number of initiatives have been taken by the Indian Army to handhold the industry towards building the required trust and momentum. Organizing forward area visits for industry representatives to better understand field conditions and user requirements, support in conduct of trials, assistance in testing and certification, provisioning or providing in-service equipment for R&D, facilitating no objection certificates for export, and promoting indigenous defense products in various exercises, interactions that we have with militaries of friendly foreign countries through military diplomacy are some of such initiatives. I believe the Indian defense industry is rising up to the mandate of achieving self-reliance and is investing significantly into research processes and advanced manufacturing and production techniques, and is today producing cutting-edge military hardware with modern technologies. Currently, we have close to 340 indigenous defense industries that are working towards fructification of about 225 contracts by the year 2025, with an outlay of approximately 2.5 lakh crores. Modernization and technology infusion, which stands on the edifice of Atmanirbharta, forms one of the key pillars of our transformation roadmap that we are undertaking in the Indian Army. Let me highlight some of the focus areas for technology infusion and key systems that are being indigenously sourced. Towards improving our mobility and protection, various procurements include light strike vehicles, all-terrain vehicles or the ATVs, light specialist vehicles, and bulletproof jackets of the highest quality which provide the maximum protection. Battlefield situational awareness is being increased or enhanced through border surveillance system and having a range of surveillance drones. For target acquisition and precision fires, we have swarm drones, loiter munitions, and new artillery platforms such as the 155mm mounted gun systems, towed gun systems, the K9 Vajra, the advanced towed artillery gun systems, and new generation of munition which include terminally guided munitions and canister launch munition as well. Our night fighting capabilities are being enhanced through night sights for small arms and handheld thermal imagers. The effectiveness of our communication right down to the soldier level is being upgraded through induction of software-defined radios. We are also deploying terrain-specific electronic warfare systems, drone and anti-drone systems. Logistic capacities and efficiencies are being augmented by employing or introduction of logistic drones. Induction of new weapon platforms for the mechanized forces such as the light tanks and the future infantry combat vehicle, and for aviation such as the medium altitude long endurance RPAs and the light utility helicopter are also in the pipeline. Apart from the weapon systems and equipment, we are also pursuing 45 niche technologies which have been identified for military application. 120 indigenous projects are currently underway to develop and absorb these niche technologies. Now, these span across multiple routes of innovation, incubation, and development. Centers of excellence have been established in our technical institutions, and these include the 5G testbed lab, the AI lab, and the quantum lab, which we have set up at MAU in collaboration with IIT Madras. A number of artificial intelligence projects are currently underway, and this comprises the natural language processing, facial recognition, vehicle tracking, satellite imagery analysis, and other autonomous systems. A tri-services project is being undertaken to develop a high-powered computing AI cloud. We are in the process of preparing an AI roadmap in consultation with subject matter experts, which will serve us good for the next 20 to 25 years. We are also exploring the Internet of Military Things and its integration with 5G communication for exploitation in the domains of smart surveillance, telemedicine, drone control, and real-time augmented and virtual reality for both training as well as operations. Under robotics, we are pursuing projects like robotic surveillance platform, autonomous combat vehicle, and man-unmanned teaming solutions. In the space domain, we are exploiting indigenous space assets with the Indian Army as one of the largest users of satellite communication-based networks. We are also working closely with government ministries and other departments to harness Digital India and other similar initiatives. Our collaboration with MITI encompasses exchange of best practices in hardware and data security, assistance during procurement for identified embedded malware, capability building in cyber forensics, audit of our Indian Army data centers, and standardization testing and quality certification. We are also reaching out to academic centers of excellence and IITs for incubation and fostering innovations for customized training, accreditation, and establishing patents of defense research products. However, infusion of technology and advanced weapon systems and equipment by itself is not enough. Enhancing the technology threshold of our soldiers, adopting new operational philosophies, concepts of employment, and tactics are as important to maximize the battlefield potential of modern weapon system. Forced restructuring and reorganization of units or our subunits to give effect to these new capabilities is also being currently addressed. In our pursuit of modernization and technology infusion, we need to find the right balance between vintage, current, and the state-of-art systems that will form part of our inventory. Modernization or replacement of all vintage platforms in one go is neither feasible nor desirable. We intend to scale up the ratio of vintage to current to the state-of-art equipment, and we intend doing that substantially by 2030 with a focused Atmanirbharta capability development roadmap. New indigenous procurements are being planned in a manner so that no operational gaps or voids exist in our war-fighting capability at any time. Maintaining a high level of operational preparedness to effectively address and meet current security challenges along our borders will continue to remain our focus and priority. I would like to underscore the point that Swadeshi Karan, say Sashakti Karan, is a work in progress, where all stakeholders, be it the services, industry partners, startups, R&D institutions, academia, and the policymakers have a crucial and equal role to play. It is essential for us to develop core competencies in critical technologies and production of key systems with a clear focus, scale, and speed necessary to meet not only our immediate defense requirements but also for export of military hardware in the future. The Indian Army remains aligned and integrated with the national vision and objectives, and a self-reliant and future-ready Indian Army shall continue to contribute meaningfully to the aspirations, goals, and objectives of a rising India. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, and Jai Hind.